I'll go ahead and share my screen. All right, let's start off with some introductions. Over to you, Alex.
Thanks, Katie, and thanks for having us, Tyree. Really pleased to be with you today, and thank you for the few students that joined us. My name is Alex. I am originally from France, but living in Singapore for the last 7-8 years. I'm leading the BDR program across the Asia-Pacific region. So at the moment, we've got about 50 BDR that are spread across Australia, Singapore, Japan, and we've got a few more as well in India and in China. So today we are here to talk about the graduate program specifically in Sydney. But if we have some international students in the room that like to explore opportunities all around the world, as well as in Europe and in the United States, please let me know and I will put you in touch with the right person. So on my side, I started my career exactly with a similar role as a BDR for another company called Salesforce. And this was really the start of a great career in technology. Then I moved into a sales role as an account executive, working for a few big tech companies such as SAP and Adobe. And about 2 years ago, I joined Oracle to lead this program as a manager first, and more recently as a director. Very nice to meet you, and looking forward to this presentation and to the Q&A at the end as well. Over to you, Ayub.
Thanks, Alex. My name's Ayub. I'm an account executive here at Netsuite. I started my journey here at Netsuite 3 years ago in the BDR program. So really today I'm going to share my story from my journey from being a BDR to now an account executive. But yeah, I'll be speaking to you guys shortly. Over to you, Andrew.
Thanks, Ayub. Yeah, guys, welcome to the session for the next little while. It's great to have you on board. My journey to NetSuite's been a little bit different than most. I sold directly against NetSuite at a technical capacity. So I spent about 6 years in the field actively trying to undermine NetSuite. But then the opportunity was too good to give up. And I was offered a management position here. So been in seat for nearly a year now, working really closely with all the BDRs based in Australia, in North Ryde, where I am right now, so not too far from campus. And yeah, really enjoying seeing the development of the BDRs into fully fledged sales individuals. Over to you, Kathy.
Thanks, Andrew. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kathy Liu. I actually graduated from Macquarie University with a Bachelor in Business Admin. I think there's actually a total of 6 BDR alumni who graduated from Macquarie, and then they graduated from the NetSuite BDR program and got promoted into new roles. So I actually started my career as a BDR at Oracle NetSuite, and I was in the program for 12 months. Then I got promoted to be an account executive in ANZ, so the same role as Ayub. Then shortly after that, I changed roles again, so into the role that I'm in now. So I'm back in the business development world as a program specialist supporting JPAC. So I work very closely with Alex and Andrew. But that's just one example of how you can really grow your career at NetSuite. Over to you, Elena.
Thanks, Kathy. Well, welcome everyone and good afternoon. Yeah, so I started my career at NetSuite in April last year, and I previously studied a Bachelor of Commerce at UNSW. So as you go into a sales role, you do realize that they both work hand in hand. But I'm really excited to speak with you today and update you on my journey in sales so far.
Thanks, Elena. Just a quick agenda for today's session. We'll firstly talk about why Oracle NetSuite, give you an understanding of firstly, what is NetSuite as well. Thereafter, we'll go into the BDR program, provide you an overview. What does a day in the life of a BDR look like? The culture, your role, what you'll be doing, as well as the career progression that comes along with being a BDR. And thereafter, there'll be plenty of time for questions and answers. 。 So what is NetSuite? So essentially, NetSuite is a complete business management platform for a business. If you think about a business, it has a system for its financials, a separate system for the CRM, and all these many systems within a business. What NetSuite is, it's a complete business management platform that brings together a business's back-end processes all within the one unified house to ensure that business leaders, businesses are provided with real-time visibility of their business. But at the same time, they're provided with a 360-degree view of their customer. So they understand when certain customers are purchasing more, and hence can focus their strategic decisions based upon that. We were the first cloud company. We've always been on the cloud. We have our presence in over 203 countries. And what this means is we are truly a global operation. And really the story with NetSuite and our growth has come from the acquisition back in 2016. So in 2016, we were acquired by Oracle for about $9.3 billion. And what this meant was NetSuite was able to remain as a global business unit, but benefited from Oracle's big back pockets that could invest into the product, so it continually grows. We have about 29,000 customers across the globe. And Kathy, if you go to the next slide, we work with different businesses in different industries. We have companies such as Guzman Y Gomez. So every single time you go to buy a burrito or taco, the person that's serving you is using our system. So that's really an overview into NetSuite. Hope you understand NetSuite a bit better now.
You've got a question, Ayub, from Arnav on exactly what is NetSuite?
So is it like all in software solution, like the integrates other software? It definitely is. It's a complete platform that brings together all your business processes, so your CRM, your HR, your financials, and can integrate into other systems as well.
The acronym for this big platform, Arnav, is called ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. Yeah, so that's what we sell. But we do have CRM and a small HRM system included into that one platform.
Great question.
My name is Philip. I'm from Switzerland and I love working at NetSuite.
I'm originally from Germany and I relocated to Malaga because I was given the amazing opportunity to start my career in sales as a business development representative for Oracle NetSuite.
It is an 18-month program that helps you prepare for an exciting and rewarding career in sales.
We develop business. Being the first point of contact for any prospect approaching NetSuite, we can have a real big impact. This company has a plan with you as an individual, starting with onboarding, where you get all the tools you need on the job. It's amazing.
They honestly could have not done a better job in getting us ready for the BDR role. You have the chance to be surrounded by a cohort of BDR, plus a mentor.
Joining NetSuite in Malaga is not just another job. You join an amazing solution provider worldwide. You join an amazing team and an amazing culture.
Malaga is amazing. I'm literally living in a place where other people go on vacation. It's beautiful, 99% sunny, we have a beach, good food, chill vibes.
You will find me on one of the 72 golf courses or on a paddle court and also on a tennis court.
Sport is important as well as food. You will find one of the best places in Spain to eat tapas with your friends. It was an amazing experience learning how to become the next star of Oracle NetSuite.
So we have just stole the video from our colleague in Europe to showcase the BDR program in Europe. We are, as we speak, making the same video like for Australia, but the idea remains exactly the same. You get to be part of a global team, a program that have about 800 BDR globally. The big majority of them are in the US and in Europe, but as I said, we've got about 50 BDR here in the region, you are part of this very big family. You get to work hard and play hard, and more importantly, you get to enjoy the growth of this company. So this slide is actually applicable to NetSuite, but to most of the other tech companies out there. So I will say that this is probably the most important slide of this presentation, the one that you should take back home and think about very carefully whenever you go and make a decision to join any company. So it's actually a quotation from Sheryl Sandberg, which is the COO of Meta, previously called Facebook. And that quotation is that if you're offered a seat on a rocket ship, don't ask what seats, just get on. I remember when I first heard that quotation, I didn't necessarily understood it, but now that I'm part of this tech industry for the last nearly 10 years, it makes a lot of sense to me. Basically, what it means is that just choose a company that is going to offer you a lot of growth so that your career is going to be very positively impacted. A very big billion-dollar business like Oracle, NetSuite, as much as every other very big tech company out there, on average grow about 30% year over year in terms of revenue, as well as employee growth. So what does it mean is that 30% over like a 3.5 years growth, it means that the company will double every 3-4 years in terms of revenue, as well as employee size. And what it means for you is that you're going to be part of this growth, and you are going to have the opportunity to get promoted very often, every 1 or 2 years in average. You will get the opportunity to get your salary revised very often, and you will have the opportunity to land into like senior management role very, very soon as well, as compared to if you were to work in, let's say, like a very traditional slow growth industry, such as banking, manufacturing, or all of these other traditional industries. So choose a company that grow, whichever it is, and a lot of them are in tech at the moment. So specifically about the BDR program at NetSuite, so we call it a program because it's a 15 to 18 months program that is going to be having two purposes. The first one is talent development, and the second one is lead generation. So let's start with lead generation. What do we mean is that we are going to train you on how to do the basic foundation of sales, which is prospecting, how to find new projects, how to go and identify which are the eligible customers that will be a good candidate to buy NetSuite, which one are the ones that are not ready yet and that we should push back. So we are going to teach you on how to work closely with marketing whenever they generate interest in the market, how to harvest this interest and filter out the good leads. And in the later part of the program, we're also going to teach you how to find your own leads on your own, leveraging social selling, leveraging trade association, your own network, the network of more senior people in the organization to go and identify these people. So that's the first part, lead generation. And I'm going to elaborate a bit later on this one. The second part is talent development. So we take enablement and training very seriously at NetSuite. You get to join us with no knowledge of technology, no knowledge of sales, and we are okay with that. We are going to train you very hard to not only become the best BDR in the industry, but also we are going to help you transit into your next career step, whether it's in sales, in account management, in solution consulting. We are going to prepare you for that next step. So basically, by the end of the 15 to 18 months program, you are pretty sure that if you do what is expected, you will get an opportunity to get promoted into one of these roles. So talent development is very important to us. We've got about 600 account executives across the company that started as a BDR. This means about over 80% of the sales force of Oracle NetSuite started from the BDR program. So definitely the BDR program, it's our main pool of talents when it comes to created sales rockstar as well as management. We'll talk about that in the next slide. So specifically on the training itself, it starts with 1 month of classroom style training. So similar to what you do at school today, 1 month of only training you. We've got an enablement team, we've got manager, we've got senior BDR that are going to spend time teaching you all they know about the role for you to, after the end of the month, be able to find some success very quickly. Then in the first 6 months of the program, about 1 to 8 hours per week, we are going to do some reinforcement training to ensure that you ramp up. And as I said earlier, become like the best BDR in the industry. And then towards the end of the program, 8 months to 12 months into the program, we are going to go into what we call transition training. This is to prepare you for that next step, whatever it is in sales, account management, marketing, solution consultant, etc. So this is an example of stairway that most of our BDR graduates goes into. So at the end of the 15 to 18 months, the vast majority of BDR choose to go into an account executive role. So that's the natural next step. But some other people, like 30% of them, will go into account management. So they don't want to be a hunter, they prefer to be a farmer, work with our existing customer and make them grow. So that's what we call here AMO, account management. Some other people like to work closely with our partners, enable our partners, recruit new partners, and sell through partners, not directly. So that's what we call here channel. After a couple of years in this kind of role, some of them will want to continue in a similar role, but working with much bigger companies. Bigger companies will mean a lot more complexity, much longer sales cycle. So some other people will want to do that for an extra couple of years. You may want to continue in sales or account management for a long time in your career because the money gets very, very good. But some other people also want to go and explore management. So this is usually what will happen after 3 or 4 years after graduation, for you to go and lead a team of BDR, a team of account executive, a team of account manager, and slowly make your way up into management. In terms of numbers, since 2013, the BDR program have promoted about 600 people. So as I said, it's pretty natural. As you join the BDR program, you will get promoted into your next career step. 360 choose to go into an account executive role, 160 into manager. And we have about 75 ex-BDR that are today in management role. Some in BDR, account executive, account management, direct management. But we have seen people that continue to move into director, vice presidents. So meaning that they get to manage very big team, very big region, and speak with a very senior leadership of Oracle to be involved in the strategy of this company as well. And then over to you, Cathy, to talk about the culture of our team.
Thanks, Alex. So I quickly wanted to cover what it's actually like working here at Oracle NetSuite and what the culture's like. So BDRs are the future revenue drivers and leaders of NetSuite. So like Alex said, you're in this program and you're in it for the long haul to be promoted and to grow your career at NetSuite. What's great about this is that senior leadership are really committed to helping you succeed, which is a great feeling to have, because knowing that the leadership team have your back and have your best interests at heart, you definitely feel supported, as they're the ones that are going to help you grow. In my case, the manager that hired me, she actually helped me move into the role that I am in now. So really having your manager's support is really important. We are very team focused, as you can see from the images. So you'll be competing and collaborating with hungry, like-minded peers that are passionate about making an impact. And you will definitely find a sense of belonging and pride amongst the fellow BDRs. You can ask Ayub and Elena about this. We have a culture committee here in the BDR org, and it consists of BDRs who volunteer across JPAC, so ANZ, Japan, and Singapore. And their primary function is to meet, identify, and plan ways to promote a positive NetSuite culture throughout the region. And every quarter, they plan this big event for the region so that BDRs can meet and collaborate with BDRs in other countries. So if you're in ANZ, you get to meet and chat with BDRs in Japan and Singapore. And you really do get to learn a lot about the culture, which is really exciting. There's a saying here, it takes a village, and really, Netsuite isn't just a place where you can grow your career, but the people here really do become your second family. Okay, employee resource groups. ERGs are made up of Oracle employees who share a common interest or have similar backgrounds or life experiences. These strategic business resource support recruitment and retention. They provide professional development, mentorship, and they really impact the community with the events that they do. So employee resource groups foster an inclusive and engaging work environment. These memberships are completely voluntary, but they are open for all regular employees. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Elena. But before I do that, I'm going to play a video.
Okay, great. Well, reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea with you. You got a minute? Name of the company, Aerotine International. It is a cutting-edge, high-tech firm out of the Midwest awaiting imminent patent approval on a next generation of radar detectors that have both huge military and civilian applications. Now, right now, John, the stock trades over the counter at 10 cents a share. And by the way, John, our analysts indicate it could go a heck of a lot higher than that. Your profit on a mere $6,000 investment would be upwards of $60,000.
Jesus, that's my mortgage, man.
Exactly, you could pay off your mortgage.
This stock will pay off my house.
John, one thing I can promise you, even in this market, is that I never ask my clients to judge me on my winners. I ask them to judge me on my losers because I have so few. And in the case of Aerotine, based on every technical factor out there, John, we are looking at a grand slam home run.
Okay, let's do it. I'll do $4,000.
4,000, that'd be 40,000 shares, John. Let me lock in that trade right now and get back to you with my secretary with an exact confirmation. Sound good, John?
Yeah, sounds good.
Great. Hey, John, thank you for your vote of confidence, and welcome to the Investors Center.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Thanks.
Thanks, Kathy. Well, look, that's my favorite video, but yeah, wow, what a video. And you're probably all familiar with The Wolf of Wall Street, and so that doesn't really need much of an introduction, but you're probably thinking this is what it means to be in sales, and this is what my role is going to look like, everyday cold calling. But as a BDR at Netsuite, that's far from my reality. And so I wanted to share my own personal journey with you as well. So after graduating from UNSW with a Bachelor of Commerce, and I majored in marketing, I was probably very much in your position, probably a little bit confused and anxious about the future and wondering whether I'd be able to get a job out of university as well. And so to start my journey, I applied to multiple entry-level marketing and sales roles. And so after receiving multiple offers on the table and searching on LinkedIn for graduate roles, I came across the Netsuite BDR program, which is an entry-level sales role. And even though it's a big technology firm, you don't need any technical experience to be a good fit for the role. So I was fortunate enough to be one of the lucky ones selected into the program. And so I wanted to detail to you all as to why I chose Netsuite as opposed to the other companies as well. So I was initially really intrigued with how widespread the program was in connecting with other graduates all across the world. So we have a lot of presence in the US, Europe and Asia. And so this really meant that being in the program could allow me to openly collaborate with other people in different teams and different countries, build my connections and network well in the industry as well. So my first reason would be that Netsuite has an inclusive and diverse culture. And so we like to promote a lot of open communication and collaboration with your teammates regularly. So we have a very motivating and inspiring team. And so you feel excited to work every day and will be provided with the right support and manager to invest in your own career journey. We also have a lot of teamwork bonding events. As you can see in the picture below, we had a beach day cleanup, and that's really to foster teamwork and positivity. And we also have a lot of spiffs, such as winning prizes, free lunches and days off to be rewarded for our hard work as well. So my second reason is we have a great stairway development program. And so we have a diverse stairway program where all of the graduates complete to progress into the organization. And so you can really go into any sales role that piques your interest. So you can go into our direct sales team to become an account executive, or you can go into account management as well. The third reason is we provide you with the right mentorship. So we provide you with the mentorship you need to succeed within the organization and learn from the trusted advisors, from experienced leaders that have either walked in your shoes before, or you see a similarity between yourself and them as well. And so as you can see from the top picture, I'd like to take you through how I became a successful BDR myself, and for my advice and tips for any graduates that are interested in starting a career in sales. So after winning BDR of the month for September, I have some tips for being successful in the role. So my first tip would be to really be a sponge. So you should really leverage that and learn from everyone around you and collaborate with others in the organization. So this really helped me gain the direction and the confidence I needed to speak with multiple stakeholders and leaders in the business to gain their advice and pick their brains a bit. My second advice would be to help others be successful and learn from them, and you'll see that you'll be successful yourself. So learn what strategies work for you, and by taking inspiration from others, you gain your best practice into improving your work every day. And my third would be build positive relationships with your team. So always be kind, helpful, and knowledgeable to others. And my fourth would be never be afraid to make mistakes. And so I resonate with this one on a personal level. So usually you'd rather accept the fact that you've made the mistake, and instead you should really take advantage of it and embrace it and learn from those mistakes early on in your career. And my fifth advice would be, they really say your network is your net worth. And so I never really knew what this meant until I entered into the world of sales. So my last tip would be to make sure you build positive, meaningful relationships with everyone. And this will really take you far and help you achieve your goals in the future as well.
Thanks, Elena. I want to spend a couple of minutes or so talking about, why I pursued a career in software sales, in sales. So it really started for me when I graduated university at the Western Sydney Parramatta back in 2019. I traveled overseas with a really good friend of mine who was already working in tech sales at another company. And it was our first trip. We went to countries such as Egypt, that's me by the pyramid, but we also went to Turkey, Dubai, and Kenya. And when you travel with someone, you get to know them a bit better. So my friend kept on speaking about the benefits of being in software sales, the financial benefits that come along, as well as the career progressions. So hearing these many good things, I've come back to Australia after my trip, just recently graduated university, and I thought, why not apply for it, see how I go, and just go for it. So I started applying for roles after roles, but what I found was that majority of the sales roles, the tech sales roles, require 2 to 3 years of sales experience. And just because I recently graduated university, I didn't have that experience. So I come across the Oracle NetSuite BDR program, and it was very appealing to me because first and foremost, it was an entry-level role with career progression as well. And I knew especially that the program was set that after that period, the 12 to 18 month period, I could go into account executive. I wanted to be a sales rep, similar to, my friend, because he was an account executive at another company. So I applied for the NetSuite role, and here I am today. I just want to really spend a couple of moments talking about what really stood out for me. So one thing that stood out for me was the training that was provided. So as soon as I started, we were provided with a 3-week classroom style environment training where we learned things from cold calling, objection handling, negotiation skills. And this was quite important for me because I wanted to ensure that there was going to be hand holding provided. I didn't want to be thrown into the deep end straight away. And as you could see, I like to play it safe. So besides the training, the 3-week training that's provided, one thing that NetSuite does is focuses on enablement. So the company has its own enablement team, which you can reach out to on a regular. I speak to the team once every 2 weeks, trying to get their assistance on areas that I'm continually trying to improve on. So continuous training is provided, but also the management team. The managers, as you can see there, the gentleman with the big beard there, he was my previous BDR manager. He's moved to the UK recently. And one thing that stood about my manager was my first conversation with him was, where do you want to be in the next 12 months? So they're there for you. They're focused on your long-term plans as well. And they'll work with you on a regular. I know with him, every week, every 2 weeks, we used to go in a room and he'll teach me certain things that I needed to improve on. And so your managers are there to support you. You develop friends as well. You're starting your career with a lot of individuals, like-minded individuals that recently graduated university as well. A lot of the individuals that I started the program with, I've become, I've been invited to their weddings, right? So we become really close as well. One thing that I'm really proud of from being in the program is, also the personal benefits I've seen myself. What I mean by this is, speaking to CEOs, managing directors on a regular, I've seen my presentation skills and my confidence improve. If we were to go back 12, 24 months ago, I wouldn't have the confidence to speak in a large room. And, here I am in front of different individuals that I haven't met before. So that's some of the benefits. Yes, the quotas, the commissions are nice, but also the personal benefits is what you'll take in the long run as well. A great achievement for me was being ranked the #1 outbound BDR across the world out of 210 reps. Back in Q3 2019, I achieved an attainment of 210%, and I had a few of those leads closed as well. That was a great opportunity. That's me with the trophy there. So after I completed the BDR program, I was successful. I applied for the account executive role, and I received the role. And this is something I wanted to do for 18 months, because while you're a BDR, you're generating the leads for the account executives, but I wanted to see the full sales cycle and be able to sell to these individuals. So my role allows me to meet with, CFOs, assist them with their digital transformation. I focus on the software non-product space for the Victorian market. So as a result, I travel to Victoria once every month. And being a business trip, this is covered by the business as well. So that's the perks that come with being in software sales as well. You get to travel, but also in the long run, who knows where you want to be in the next 3 years. I know with one of my colleagues, we started the BDR program, and in July, he's just doing an internal transfer to the US as an account executive. So you don't need to change organizations. You don't need to have a massive move in your life. So in the next 5 years, being a global organization with presence in pretty much every city, you can work at a different country if you want to with the same organization, not having to learn new information, new things. So that's really my highlights of, why I chose the BDR program, the career progression that comes with the role. But one thing I want to finish off is by saying that, it's probably been one of the better decisions I've made, in my career, and that's something I'm really proud of.
Thanks, Ayub. I'm still stunned by that 210%. Well done. Yeah, guys, I guess on the screen here, day in a life, the management side of things. And I think the overarching message that you would have been hearing across through Elena, Ayub, Alex, and Kathy is that development structure that you receive in the NetSuite Oracle. BDR program. And it is probably the central piece of the program. It is hugely important because the management, myself, Alex, we are invested in you becoming the best possible BDRs and then transitioning to the best possible salespeople that you can possibly be. I'll give you one example. Back when I first started in sales, near on 10, 11 years ago now, there was no training and enablement. I was thrown a phone book and I was essentially told to get calling. Thankfully, those days have gone and you are given that structured development, that structured teaching and training that we all need when we start off our career. It's hugely important and it is real and it exists every single day. I'll come back to the weekly one-on-ones and I'll go to that call coaching on the job section there, point number 3. So we do live action call coaching, be it over Zoom or in the office now that we're sort of getting back to standard life. And we sit there on the phones with you as a management team and we work through our prospect lists or your prospect lists, and we work through that quality conversation, specifically focusing on giving value to our customers. Get a couple of hours of that a week, and it is amazing and really inspiring for a manager to sort of watch the BDR sort of progress through that. She's going to hate me, but Elena, who you heard from earlier, to focus on her for a second, her conversations, literally within a matter of weeks, developed from, decent to outstanding. And there's a reason why Elena is a top performing BDR and is in line for that next step really soon, which is encouraging. Weekly one-on-ones, point number 2 there. Constantly meeting with your manager to discuss strategies, to discuss your sort of development, what you need to do to take that next step, hugely important. And obviously it happens each week. You don't just get that time with your manager each week though. It's a daily sort of discussion. We have a very open and transparent management culture here at Oracle NetSuite. There's no sort of closed doors and siloed time. It is very open and honest discussion, which is good. Point 4 down there, real quick, harping on about the development, so I won't go any further, but it's real, it's active, and it's an investment in you and your career. Really important. I won't walk through the right hand side of the screen there, but rest assured there's a photo of all of us at Mexican. I look stupid in that hat, but we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. We work hard, absolutely, but we play hard as well, which is important. Kathy, next slide, please. Thank you very much. So a little bit of a task for you. I wanted to, I guess, challenge you to go out of the Zoom now. Well, don't obviously leave it, but open up a Word doc or your internet up there. And I want to challenge someone to go out and find a NetSuite customer story. Plug it into Google, go on our website, have a look at the reference sites there. And first person to come back in, probably the best way is to put it in the chat on Zoom. Just share one business benefit that business that you found realized once they implemented Oracle NetSuite. And it's not without a prize, which is important. You get a nice little beer mug. We call it the Braggers Cup here at BDR Oracle. But I'll throw in a quick fire 45-minute mentoring session with myself just over Zoom. We can use that time to sort of strategize your next step once you leave Mac. So have at it now. I think we've got a video to play while we do that. But first person to come back with a a business benefit that a reference site realized once they used NetSuite Oracle.
I'm originally from New York. I ended up in Sydney, and I remember going to every single Mexican restaurant I could find, and they all sucked. Imagine you actually did it the way we knew it, and it was fresh, and it was actually real, and that's how Guzman y Gomez came to life. Guzman y Gomez is truly authentic Mexican flavors, super fresh. We're actually just as quick as traditional fast food, but with ridiculously high quality food that's clean. We do breakfast, lunch, dinner, 24 hours, through drive-through, so wherever you want it, whenever you want it, you can get it. We opened up in October 2006, and most people had no idea what we were doing. They thought the black beans were olives, they didn't know what a pork shoulder was, let alone a brisket, but the people that knew it loved it. We now have close to 140 restaurants. We are in Australia, Japan, Singapore, and the US, and growing rapidly. People always ask me, as you grow so quickly, are you guys ready for it? And one thing that I truly believe in is making sure your foundations are correct. 5 years ago, we were on MYOB, and it just wasn't robust enough. NetSuite gives us the ability to integrate all of my systems throughout the world to give me the most accurate and up-to-date financial numbers that I need to really make the right decisions for my business.
Business is reasonably complex because we've got both a franchise and a corporate restaurant model, and they're two different businesses, and they reported and accounted for in two different ways. We are very data-centric. Having access to regular, reliable, timely, relevant information is absolutely critical to the way that we operate the business. We do all of our financial management, bank reconciliation, bank management, receivables, payables, asset management through NetSuite. NetSuite is a fantastically scalable system. As we grow and become more complex, more divisionalized and more internationalized, the system scales beautifully with us.
When you grow and add new software systems, I know when they're working when I don't hear about it. And NetSuite has been fantastic with my finance and my tech team.
GYG has been predominantly an Australian business for a long period of time. We've now moved into the US. It's vital for us that we have integrated and scalable systems that we are able to manage across borders and across currencies. NetSuite really facilitates our growth because it has no boundaries. It just adapts with us as we continue to grow.
When you grow a business, if you don't trust the numbers that are presented to you, you can't make the right decisions. And NetSuite gives me that confidence. So without NetSuite giving me the confidence of having such a sound accounting and financial software system, we wouldn't be where we are today. So NetSuite is a huge part of the future for GYG. My ultimate goal is truly to build the best restaurant company in the world, to help them change education, change the environment, and show people that even though you build an amazing business, you still can have true ethics and morals and obligations.